Every game has its superstars.
Maybe a tag would be great. Now for it. Yay, though. Oh, yay!
Every game has players who have raised the skill ceiling and pushed the boundaries of what's possible.
The flash goes in, spots one, gets one! Yay, the unthinkable again!
And every game has one player who stands above the rest.
Behind the yellow box, and Ye's not finding too much with the tour de force in hand. Ooh, as I say that! What is this?
In Valorant's young history, only one player has truly risen above the competition.
And yay, this 3 could be on for the ace if he gets the timing right. He knows it, he reads it like a book. Yay is an animal in these moments.
But Ye's journey to the top of Valorant wasn't an easy one.
I kind of like ran into like a situation in which like I was dealing with like a lot of like mental health kind of related stuff.
This is the story of the best player Valorant has ever seen. This is the story of Ye. Jaccob Ye Whiteaker always loved FPS games. From the moment his father introduced him to Medal of Honor, Ye was hooked on shooters. Growing up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, there just wasn't much else for a kid like him to do. So Ye often spent his spare time playing video games. But it was when he discovered Call of Duty that Ye got his first real taste of competition. Unlike most COD players, Ye played the game with a keyboard and mouse, and his skills were so impressive many players actually thought that he was cheating.
Yeah, at least in like the whole like Call of Duty scene, the only anti-cheat was like VAC, and like all the guys were like convinced, like absolutely like convinced that was like cheating. And I remember even like vividly, like we were like playing a game. I was having a serious. I was like spamming people through walls. Like I don't know, it was like a really good game for me. And my own team actually ended the game and they kicked me out. And they're just like, yeah, cheating isn't cool, dude. I'm like, what? I'm like, all right.
After getting kicked from his amateur Call of Duty roster, Ye needed a new game to play, and that's when he fell in love with CSGO. Ye quickly rose through the semi-pro ranks, grinding his way through FACEIT and ESEA, and eventually making it to rank S. But once he got there, Ye encountered a bit of a setback.
This wasn't my first time being it. There was like a situation before where I joined like rank S and FPL and got kicked prior. Mainly because I think at the time I was at my mom's place and I was getting like I had the worst internet available, but I still wanted to play like a whole bunch, so I got kicked out.
Even after getting kicked from FPL, Ye was determined to make it big in CS. Despite his internet woes, some top NA pros were willing to vouch for him. And in July 2017, Ye finally got that shot. He signed with Complexity, and once he made his debut on CSGO's biggest stage, Ye made sure not to waste the opportunity.
The bomb will at least go down on something. Great shot from Ye, double with the AWP. This is turned around on Vega very quickly, and that's a big problem. They need to win this round. They've done everything right up until the last couple of seconds here. Android looking at the opening frag and taking down Hudgy and Crush. He's in the middle of nowhere, you can tell. And he's going to go down to Ye. What a turnaround, a quad kill from Ye.
His job to turn this corner. Immediate dink. Ye's ready for the next one as well. He gets that too. And now how do you get this bomb planted? Scout from above, tagging you, and there's the peak. Ye, quad kill in the round, 11-7, and Complexity, they do it right back. Well, this bomb plant isn't even gonna go down, and Ye's done it. Who better to close it out?
Complexity's top 8 finish at the London Major shocked everyone. It was an amazing accomplishment for a relatively new roster. But although Ye had a lot to be proud of, he was already starting to feel burnt out.
I would say like during my time with Complexity, or like towards like the end, I kind of like ran into like a situation in which like I was dealing with like a lot of like mental health kind of related stuff. And I would say like especially like after the London Major, instead of like I would say like taking like a break, you know, and like taking like a week or two off, or like 2 or 3 weeks, kind of like the solution, and this wasn't by Stanislaw, but kind of like upper management was like, hey, we're on a hot streak, let's keep going, you know. And like the whole time I spent like over like a month or two in like Europe, so my mental health, like I started getting like really like burnt out of the game.
In the months that followed, Ye's performance started to slip as he struggled with his mental health. By the end of 2018, he was benched, which only made things worse.
And I just remember like for like over 2 weeks. I was like kind of like depressed in bed. Like I could not leave my bed like whatsoever. It was a rough time.
Ye ultimately decided to stick to CS, but after losing his spot on Complexity, all he could do was hop between various tier 2 rosters. And just when he thought he had finally found a place to call home, Ye's entire world came crashing down. During the pandemic, tons of North American orgs pulled out of Counter-Strike, and it became painfully clear that the game was no longer a viable career option for someone like Ye. So in April 2020, he jumped ship to Valorant.
I smoke. Smoke.
That's Spike. Nice Spike.
3.
You're insane. Let's group on Spike, dude.
1 enemy remaining.
Last one here.
Ye quickly got scooped up by Andbox and began competing in Valorant's burgeoning pro scene, where he steadily built a reputation as one of NA's deadliest duelists. And he earned a pretty badass nickname too.
Wait, this team is actually...
Oh my god, El Diablo himself. El Diablito.
Last player standing. 1 enemy remaining.
Shit, boys!
When you see him alive, even though he's 1 HP and it's 1v4, you're like, maybe he can win this. Like you're like looking at him, maybe he can win this.
I don't know, it's just a meme to me, you know, like, because like everyone talks about like ranked demons, and then like some people are like, this is like the act, you know, the demon above all demons, you know, kind of thing.
El Diablo was considered one of the most lethal frag artists in North America, and his performance in matchmaking translated to officials. But there was one huge problem. His team just couldn't keep up.
It's going to be so difficult right now. Zeta able to take down Marta through the cage. They've got that backside control, the ever important backside control, and they got numbers. It's up to Vice against 3 to try to make this one work, but it really seems like a nightmare, and indeed, they're going to have to wake up right now because the nightmare is over for now as Cloud9 clinch it.
He's down on Mikhail, still around the corner, still hasn't spotted him, finally catches off the arm. Sean still in the back line, there you go. He has no clue that somebody is in B main, but he doesn't even go for it. He waltzes on by, half the defuse has gone in, but Mikhail runs on in, stuffs the barrel, and Genji have qualified for the close qualifier.
Ye was putting up insane numbers, but it wasn't enough to carry Andbox across the finish line.
Again, like I had like these goals and like these expectations and things like I want to do, and like if we're not moving forward, if we're just like people aren't like willing to give it their all, like it's just like it's kind of like a situation in which like I don't want to be a part of that environment.
Once Ye showed interest in leaving Andbox, a bidding war reportedly broke out, but in the end, he chose Envy. Envy were already considered one of the best teams in NA, but they were missing one thing. They didn't have a true dedicated jet opper, which made Ye the perfect fit.
Keep pushing this, and Ye, brilliant connection from the back. What? Ye!
Ye made his mark immediately, helping Envy qualify for their first ever international event. And once he finally had his chance to represent NA on the international stage, El Diablo showed everyone what the world had been missing.
1 bullet left with the optic. Has that blade storm online. If he's able to get that, all right, he's good for 1. It's going to be on to steal. He has to creep his way forward. A Red Bull clutch from Ye!
Envy went all the way to the grand finals without dropping a single map, cementing themselves as the absolute best team in NA. But they weren't the best team in the world. Gambit was just too strong.
Timing, oh my god, no! Yeah, he's made a meal of it! It's all going to pieces! No way! Nicole! In the final moments, has just shone so brightly, they are blinded by the lights! Gambit are the Valorant Masters Champions!
Ye came so close to lifting his first international trophy with Envy, but despite the heartbreaking loss, he was optimistic about the future.
Obviously, you know, getting to the grand finals is like amazing, but I'm just more happy that like we at least like so far we're continually like getting better. And I think as long as you're constantly like working to get better, like the results are like a byproduct of that.
Heading into Champions, the final event of the year, hopes were high for Envy. Ye was poised to improve on that second place finish at Masters Berlin, but Champions didn't exactly go as planned.
Evidence gets the first one. Victor, can he get the trade? He can.
Enemy
1
remaining.
versus 1. Victor for Envy, but it's Zeke who pulls it out of the bag and Ascend get the defuse.
They're moving to the A site. Cruz will try to hold on, and he gets away with 3. The lockdown will do absolutely nothing. The stun to the backside. Oh, they're going to eliminate Sushi Boy to start with, but Patty is still going strong on the backside. Oh, and through the Cloudburst, and comes the Blade Storm, and it's not even needed. Scary closes it out, and SEA are going all the way to playoffs.
Envy collapsed at the biggest tournament of the year. Ye ended the season looking for revenge after a performance so bad it tarnished his otherwise impeccable record. But luckily, during the offseason, Riot released a new agent. An agent that seemed like it was designed specifically for Ye.
Oh my god.
Chamber was a killing machine. His ultimate was a free operator with an absurd rate of fire, and his headhunter ability basically gave him a pocket guardian to use on eco rounds. That meant Ye, who already had disgusting aim and was a god with the op, could use Chamber to his full broken potential.
Oh no! Absolute catastrophe as Ye finds perfect timing with a quarter force and annihilates the entire team, secures the ace.
Envy, now playing as Optic, entered Masters Reykjavik 2022 ahead of the meta. They were one of the only teams who had truly incorporated Chamber into nearly every one of their team comps. And thanks to Ye, they popped off.
Inertia not seeming to mind the approach as we see the Tour de Force. The Tour de Force is working. He's already got 4 as a chance.
Spike down.
At 1 more.
Ye's not finding too much with the Tour de Force in hand. Ooh, as I say that! What is this?
Tag would be great now for it. Ye though. Oh, Ye! Tournament life in your hands. Optic on the verge, and it's all but over. It's all but done. Optic Gaming build their legacy brick by brick.
Ye finally had his trophy. He dominated the event with insane stats and some of the sickest plays of the event. By the time Masters 1 was over, everyone knew his name.
Now you have this trophy in your hands. How does it feel?
Good.
Don't you do me like that. Describe your emotions for me.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great.
We are taking a brief pause from your regularly scheduled story of programming to bring you from the undisputed GOAT of Valorant to the undisputed GOAT of FPS monitors and mice and mouse pads. I'm talking about Zowie. Look, if you're a competitive FPS player, you know that when it comes to improving, to being the best of the best, it can all come down to milliseconds, to seeing your opponent just that split second sooner than they see you. The point is, you too can give yourself a leg up with Zowie's XL2566K monitor. This thing is literally as good as it gets. It features Zowie's patented Diac Plus technology. Basically, it controls how and when backlighting is turned off and on at specific points in the TN panel, which functionally reduces motion blur and the after images you hate to see in other monitors. The bottom line is that this stuff is massively noticeable. Seriously. Zowie sent me both a 240Hz and a 360Hz to try out. And sponsorship and fanboyism aside, I am in love with them. Once you've tried Diac Plus, there's no going back. They are pricey, but if you are serious about FPS, you should definitely give them a whirl.
Despite the highs Optic experienced in Iceland, by the time the next international event rolled around, Ye seemed shakier. Sure, the team was showing up domestically, but in Copenhagen, El Diablo had a slow start.
Finds one. Life in them yet an even situation here. Zipan going back around. It's all but over. Shao the one to do it. And FPX will make it to the grand finals.
After the team's disappointing result at Masters, Optic entered Champions with a lot to prove. They were the best in NA, one of the best teams in the world, but Ye needed to show up if the team wanted to win. And luckily, in Istanbul, El Diablo looked unstoppable.
She's so vulnerable, but there it is, that's what you needed. He plays ahead of the timing, finds less, but there's a player close by and he's still doing this. He has to be the protagonist in this story.
Zadak reloading! What?
Zadak completely unaware, and yay, this 3 could be on for the ace if he gets the timing right. He knows it, he reads it like a book. Yay is an animal in these moments. Just one more, and it looks so good with Yay.
All through Champions, Ye was a statistical freak of nature, topping the server in just about every game he played. But he wasn't just receiving praise for his fragging power. While some players tend to overheat after getting an opening pick, Ye knew when to be aggressive and when to sit back and rely on his positioning. His performance in Istanbul helped prove that he was one of the smartest players in VALORANT, and his dominance helped Optic to their 3rd grand final at an international event, more than any other team in VALORANT's young history.
I mean, he's already beaten everybody else as far as tournament performance is going, and at this tournament, he has beaten himself. He just continues to move the marker up higher and higher with every single appearance. It's just, what an incredible player.
But although Ye and Optic were dreaming of lifting the Champions Trophy, awaiting them in the finals was their biggest rival, Loud. Optic and Loud faced off more than any other 2 teams throughout 2022, and all of their battles culminated in one final meeting that would decide who would take home the game's most prestigious trophy.
None of us saw it at the start of this round. Aspas though, good for 1,
oh my God,
good for 2, and now just the 1v1. And the correct guess, Victor, none the wiser, forced to pull the trigger! Oh, Aspas! Back for more! He's got more! That's a spike now seen as well. So telling at this time. The rest of the team is on the way through caves, adjust so well, punishing it. Oh! Can you believe it? Needs to stay cool, and he's done well with 1, but it's not going to be enough. As Sassy now in the 1v2, Plant going to come in, but they are closing the gap fast to save Plant, but then now this player's on long. Did he note the one close through Garage? He absolutely has! And with 40 HP, he's done the unthinkable! It's all on 1, the last man standing, FNS, and after so much time, so many years of heartbreak at the hands of Optic, Loud beat them in the best possible way.
Loud got their revenge that day. And although it wasn't the ending Ye was hoping for, he still had a lot to be proud of. He cemented himself as the best player in the world. He helped make Optic the most consistent VALORANT roster the world has ever seen. And even though they've since gone their separate ways, Ye and the rest of that iconic roster made history together. During the offseason, everyone wondered where Ye would end up. With Optic missing out on franchising, it was only a matter of time before someone came in and scooped him up. In the end, Ye decided to fulfill one of his lifelong dreams. He took his services to one of NA's most storied orgs, Cloud9.
What got me to Cloud9 was mainly, at least when we always played you on Optic and when I was still a part of Optic, you guys were probably one of the most challenging teams, especially in North America.
Cloud9 have built a super team. They're one of the deadliest rosters in the America region, bolstered by Ye, the best player in the world. With the VCT landscape changing in 2023, Cloud9 are the ones to watch out for. But no matter what happens next, Ye has already left his mark as one of the greatest players VALORANT has ever seen. And as far as we can tell, he's just getting started.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit up our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.